YouTube, what's going on? What's happening? As always, I am Hadou Kid, and today I wanted to bring you some ideas I have for improvements to Gear 6's multiplayer. You're probably wondering, how are you going to improve a multiplayer if it's not out yet? Well, that's kind of the point. You've probably seen in the latest Xbox announcements that there was no Gears of War content in sight to be announced. So with Gears 5 being the game that's around still, I decided to, play it as I usually do, and it gave me some more ideas about just potential improvements we can make to make Gears 6 a better game from a multiplayer perspective. Now, some of these improvements were in previous Gears games and they never made it into 5, or they're in other games, and I think it'd be good to implement them into Gears' multiplayer. Nonetheless, this list I put together, I'm pretty sure would be a big improvement overall if they could implement these changes into the game. So without further ado, here are 5 improvements to make Gears 6 multiplayer a better experience. So the first improvement idea I have is to add in more custom game options. They actually offer a lot of custom, fun little things you can do. For example, there are different filters you can add to your match that let you play in like a heat sensing mode, or even like a stylized artistic mode, or they even have filters called Gears 2 and Gears 3, which I think is kind of talking to the tone or the shade of how the game is presented. And then there's other things like you can turn on bunny rabbit heads, you can make heads explode, like all kinds of stuff like that you see in other games like Halo when they do their forward stuff, or with the skulls. If you haven't tried it in Gears 5, it's actually pretty fun if you just want to do a quick private match with friends, or even just open up the party to the public. And what's interesting is that this mode wasn't super advertised as far as I know. We had to kind of go in and play around with the settings in order to even discover this. I think adding more of those features into Gear 6 would just make it a more fun experience. It would also be great for content creation. I mean, you think about how much YouTube has blown up and all the different possibilities you can have with custom matches. You look at Halo Forge, or you look at Fortnite Creator Mode and things like that, and just the opportunity to make custom content and tweak a whole bunch of different stuff to create individual experiences that are unique and different each time. I think it is good for us, the players, because it adds to the fun experience, and it only makes us want to play the game more, which is better for the company. And with Unreal Engine 5 coming out, it may be a good opportunity to make creating custom levels or custom matches more modular or customizable to the fans in the community. The second idea is an interesting one because it's been in other Gears games, but add in a feature that allows us to change our character right before a match. If you remember in old Gears games, if you use the left and right triggers, I believe it was, you could change what character you wanted to play as before the match started, and then obviously you could change your starting weapons or the order in which they show up in the D-pad. And for some reason in Gears 5, this wasn't added. Especially if you're in a party with other people and you're not the leader, you have to back out of the party in order to change your character. And I don't know, it just seems like an easy fix, something that could just be implemented in Gears 6, even Gears 5 if there was still support, but something that's easy and simple for Gears 6 that makes it so that we can continue in the same lobby and with the same people versus having to back out and then join back in if we want to change our people or re-up or anything like that. So this seems like a small tweak, but nonetheless, I think it'd definitely be a quality of life improvement. This third one is also an interesting one because I can't recall if it's ever been in Gears, but I know I've seen it in games like Call of Duty and Halo, and that's just the option to put a clan tag before your name in the game. So if you were an OG Gears player, if you were in game battles where you could join in with a group of friends and like kind of compete online with other teams and schedule matches, things like that, it was kind of fun. But back in the day, like if I was part of a clan, we called it, or just like a group of people who were like a group, then I would typically, put my clan tag, whatever 4 letters or whatever we decided, in the beginning of my gamer tag. And if you've changed your gamer tag multiple times, then it costs money or points to change that. So it just seems like a good improvement to be able to just add in those brackets or parentheses that you see in other games that allow you to just put something small before your name. Obviously, you know, keep the filters on so that it's appropriate, but that way we don't have to go in and change our gamer tag if we did want to do something like that. And I don't know, it just allows us to be more personalized and have fun, you know, little things in the beginning of our names. It's something that's been in games forever. Again, this is back in the early Halo days, Call of Duty, all over the place. And I just think it'd be good to have in Gears. I don't know, what do you guys think? Is clan tag still a thing? I know it's probably not, but I mean, back in the day it was fun, and just to have your own little group or community, it seems like a fun little idea. So this fourth idea, I want to get you guys' thoughts on this, because I didn't realize it was something I wanted until the newer Gears games came out. And that's the option to customize the announcer voices for the COG and Locust teams. So back in Gears 1 through 3, if you guys remember, if you were to lose a match or win a match, you would have Hoffman or Prescott pretty much either congratulating you or chewing you out in just the most irritating way possible. And back then I used to get upset, I used to want to mute them, I used to hate it. But again, with these new characters like Jin and I don't even know, whoever on the Locust, it just doesn't hit the same. So why not give us the option to have our own voice announcer? You know, I think it'd be a cool feature that would give us, again, more customizable or personalized matches for each player. And it's something that's done in other games as well. I remember back when I used to play Dead or Alive fighting games, just you could unlock different characters' voices and they would say little things like "you win" or "get ready," and it would just be small voice lines, but again, it was to whichever character you personally wanted to be talking to you at that time. Same with multiverses. You can totally customize the voices and things like that to whatever player or universe you kind of want communicating to you in your matches. You know, who doesn't want Coltrane to give you a pep talk reminding you that the Coltrane runs on whole grain? You know, like, who wouldn't want that? Now, obviously, it would be a lot of recording and voice lines from multiple people, but I don't think that's not noticed or appreciated in games. You look at games like Overwatch, where there's so many different character voice lines for interactions and just situations that happen specifically like in a match. Like the attention to detail, you know, say what you want about Overwatch, but like the attention to detail in those interactions and those backstories, I think is really cool, and it doesn't go unnoticed in games. So to do something like that in Gears, there were a couple where you might hear Queen Mira talk to Scourge here and there, but again, I think to expand on it would be definitely noticed and appreciated. And also, just a side note from a voice line perspective, just not to recycle the same voice lines, because every character doing the zombie impression just braves. It does go noticed, and yeah, we'll leave it at that. All right, on to the last one, and it may be one of my most sought out improvements of the list, and that's being able to select specific game modes within a playlist. So I personally like playing objective-based modes. That way I don't have to share the amount of lives I have with my team, and again, we're working together to capture an objective, and we can get as many kills as we can, essentially, in a match. So King of the Hill and Control are my go-tos. But when you choose classic objective playlists, you might end up in Capture the Flag. Actually, you're most likely going to start in Capture the Flag or Guardian, which I don't know if you guys agree, I never want to play. I could go the rest of my life without playing those game modes and be perfectly happy. And it just sucks that we end up stuck having to play that. And again, even though you can vote afterwards to change the match, just the fact that we can't select what match type we want within a playlist is kind of inconvenient. Not to reference Overwatch again, but you know how they have the character queue, where essentially you pick what hero type you want to play as, whether it's support, whether it's damage, whether it's tank. Why not do something similar within a playlist? So if a playlist has King of the Hill, Control, Capture the Flag, and Guardian, why not give me the option to turn off Capture the Flag and Guardian? That way I'm only playing the game modes I want to play, and I'm playing longer and more matches and just having more fun. It seems like a no-brainer. And from the developer's perspective, obviously you have to allocate resources to, you know, keeping all of these different modes supported, but you can gather data based on what modes are being played the most and which ones are being played the least. And then as different updates or patches come out, you can just decide whether or not you want to keep a mode or not. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if there are just a bunch of hardcore capture the flag maniacs out there, but again, capture the flag Guardian, I could go without playing them. And I think just giving us the option to choose would be better for everybody. Alright, I'm gonna hit y'all with a bonus one just because you made it to the end of the video, and that is to get rid of this 83% shit. You know, it was a meme back in the day. You shoot somebody in the face, you get 83%. It was funny when it was referenced the first time, but I don't think any Gears player actually wants that to happen to them. So I think we retire it, we salute it, we make a blood spray about it, but really we lock in and we get the Nasher mechanics down. No more 83%. That doesn't mean make it 84%. And yeah, let's scrap it. And that is it, guys. Those are my 5 and bonus improvement ideas to make Gears 6's multiplayer just a better experience for the players, for the developers, I think, and just for everybody overall. I'm curious what you guys think about these. If you have different ideas, if you disagree with anything, let me know in the comments. I'm curious what you guys think. Seems like we got plenty of time to brainstorm about stuff like this. So, you know, in the meantime, let's let them cook, fix up whatever they're doing. But hopefully these ideas and this feedback gets to them and at the coalition or whoever may be doing Gear 6. And hopefully it just provides everybody with a better experience. As always, I appreciate the love and support. If you like this video, please give it a like. Please share it with your friends. Let's get this conversation going. Let's keep it going. I want to do some more tier lists for, you know, Gears 2 maps, Gears 3 maps. I gotta just kind of go back and play them or look at them. I'm not gonna lie, it's been a minute since I've played both of those games. So I've been unlocking some core memories, watching some old footage and old gameplay, but it's been a hot minute and I want to give you guys a good assessment based on, you know, a fresh recap, so to speak. So stay tuned for those, and as always, guys, thank you for everything, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.